on this beautiful Memorial Day 2026. Shout out the fallen soldiers who have fought for this country. Is everyone like, anybody got
That
plans for to go to the pool, beach or anything after we record?
On a holiday? Fuck no. Hell no. You know how busy it's gonna be, and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. If I was gonna go to the beach, I'd have gone like 8, 9 in the
yeah,
morning
yeah,
type
good,
shit.
yeah. You go now, ain't no parking. It's
Yeah,
packed.
ain't no
You ain't
parking.
gonna
It's
find the
hot as fuck.
spot. It's hot.
Everybody
I
gonna be
mean, we
Yeah.
everybody gonna be agitated.
being here in
Mm-mm.
Orlando, obviously you got to drive, so we don't get the perk of being, down the street from a beach. But there's
Facts.
pools all over,
Yeah, that's true, but that means it's gonna be
pools
kids.
all over. I mean, what's the problem
And
with
you don't
kids,
like
bro?
kids?
No,
Yeah,
I
bro.
love kids, but when
Khalil
I'm
ain't
on
for
my
the
vacation
kids.
though, I ain't trying to have kids. No.
I mean, it's not technically a vacation. It's just a
Damn.
day off.
Yeah, it's a vacation for me. Yo, that's the wrong mindset that you got right there, bro. When it's a day off, it's a vacation in Khalil's mind. That's how I relax and unwind. If I feel like it's just a day off, then it makes me think like, damn, tomorrow I gotta work. I don't want to think that way.
But you do.
Hell no, I'm off.
That's
I'll
just
think
the
that way when
reality. You
11:59
do.
comes. When
I
11:59
guess. I
comes, then I'll
guess.
be like, all right, I gotta work tomorrow.
That's another good way to
Until
look
then,
at it.
today's a weekend. It's a weekend for
Yeah,
me.
the long weekend.
Slept in,
That
feel
boy is
good.
somewhere in Cancun
Took
right
that
now.
midday shower. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, somewhere your team is at.
He took a screenshot of his room, and he's just using it as the background, but he's really out in Cancun.
Yes.
He's out on a resort right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
This hat really about to get put to use for real. About to be out there.
Put it
my boy
on.
see that Roku. My boy see that Roku loading screen and considers that a vacation.
Yeah.
Is that? Nah, that might be. I'm not. That might be
Shout
bad
out
luck.
Roku.
I mean, bad. I ain't gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch the Cancun hat. I'm good. That's bad luck.
Yo.
Oh yeah. Oh, it has a Cancun logo on it.
No, but I know it came from Mexico, so that's why I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, so
Okay,
you
I
automatically
I need
see,
all the
assume
luck.
Cancun.
I need all the luck that I can get. Okay, right now, I need all of it.
So all that's in Mexico
Hey,
is
man.
Cancun now? Crazy.
What happened to Tijuana? What happened to Cabo? What happened to Cozumel? Shout out
Mexico City?
my Mexicans, my raza. Mexico City. Either way, man.
Hey, I know I
Happy
was like
Memorial
1/8
Day.
Mexican.
Yeah, just like Armani is 1/8 Dominican.
Can we let that die now, bro? We gotta let this die, guys.
Nah. To the day you die, I'm gonna let it die. That's when it'll die.
Oh man! But
Bro.
guys, welcome back, man. The Memorial Day episode.
Oh shit, we live.
Episode. We've been recording, dog. Come on now.
I'm messing with you.
Episode 24. Actually, no, scratch that. The Kobe Bryant episode, and it's only right that we're gonna just talk straight NBA conference finals hoops because then again, there's nothing else going on really. So one of the best to ever do it, Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant. We're also going to talk about the All NBA teams that were announced. I believe it was yesterday. So we're going to discuss that.
In which
Got
I
the
have a
first,
take
second,
about
and third
that.
team that was. Oh no, yeah, we do. We all, at least I think we all do. I know I do as well. So we'll be diving into that. But man, let's jump straight into it. We'll start off with episode 23 last week while we were recording. Game 1 of the Spurs and Thunder series was ongoing, so the game wasn't finished yet. Game 4 was yesterday, and the series is now tied 2-2. Fuck, like, what a series so far, huh?
Man, it's been a fantastic series, to be honest with you. It does seem like it's a battle of champions. It seems like right now. I mean, you got Wemby over there doing all he can with that team. I mean, he's had a couple of rough games where he came out and said that he wasn't feeling like he was making his teammates better. So, shout out to him for stepping up because they were down 2-1 originally before yesterday. So they were able to tie that series up now going back to Game 5 in Oklahoma. So, I mean, it should be exciting. I honestly can't say I think I know who might win this. Obviously, I'm going for the Spurs because I just like to see a different change in champions every year. But, I mean, with the way OKC is looking beat up right now, it's hard right now. It's really hard. Both these teams are fighting and they're just dropping like flies. Obviously, Dylan Harper had went down, but he came back. De'Aaron Fox, he went down, he came back, but he's fighting through an injury right now. You got AJ Mitchell on OKC side, hamstring. Jalen Williams, same thing, hamstring. So it's a battle right now out there when it comes to the Western Conference. It's really going to be last man standing when it comes to that side. I still have OKC up on this game 5. I have them winning just solely because, OKC fans, home court advantage, they do really well when it comes to playing at home. Road players, which is what they're really going to need on this home game, they're going to step up because we all know role players seem to play a lot better when they're at home because they have the fans around them. So it's going to really be a high basketball IQ when it comes to the bench. They're going to need it. I think what we're seeing right now in this series with the injuries is SGA is going to be really ball heavy. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. And that's just due to the fact that they don't have guys like an AJ Mitchell right there to help him out, or Jalen Williams as that 2 option. You're going to have to rely on the guys like a Jared McCain to come out there and help you out, or even maybe a Jalen Williams, the center itself, to kind of help you out. Last game, they were amazing off the bench. 76, I believe, or 75 points off the bench, the most any bench team has ever had. I mean, they're going to need a game like that. Either that or SGA is going to have to drop 35, 40. He's going to have to carry. Chet, you're going to have to step the fuck up. Like, it's just what needs to happen. Isaiah Hartenstein's doing what he can in the paint against Wemby. Chet, we're going to need the offense over there. So if I'm OKC, I'm home. I gotta get this. We gotta get this win because you gotta figure if San Antonio was able to steal a game already away at home, if they come back and do this again, it could potentially be night. I still think it could be 7-game series, but if the Spurs win tonight's game, it'll switch momentum a little bit. What do you feel, Armani?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly for sure. But something I didn't notice though in Game 4, and this might be a symptom of the one on, one off, one on, one off schedule, bro. OKC looked hella tired, bro. Like if you looked at the way they were shooting, all their shots were short, and if you ever hooped or if you hooped organized basketball ever, when you shooting short, bro, most likely you tired. You're not like you don't have any power in your legs. And another thing
Dead
too is
legs.
defensively, they were still playing hard, but you can just kind of tell that San Antonio had that extra spring to them. To where like they were able to take advantage yesterday, and obviously they ran away with the game. Of course, with Wemby doing what Wemby does. Um, Honestly, I keep saying that, hey, look, Chet is going to have that one game. He's going to have that one game. But I don't see it happening, to be real with you. Like, I don't see Chet being able to have that game with Wemby controlling the paint the way he is. And on top of that, bro, Shea, like the way they guarded Shea and the way they adjusted to him compared to game 1. Because remember, in game 1, or not game 1, I'm sorry, game 3, they were doubling him hard. Like they were actually, trying to trap him to where, like, to not let him, get to his spots. But yesterday, they was like, you know what? Fuck all that. We're gonna play Shea straight up. Dylan Harper played Shea straight up. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and they played amazing one-on-one defense. They fought through screens, and Shea couldn't get to his spots the way he wanted to. And even when he did, it was always a tough contested too. So I want to give Mitch Johnson his props too, because yesterday that was a big adjustment to say, hey, look, let's see if OKC's role players can beat us. And they just looked so tired that obviously they couldn't. So we'll see what happens in game 5. Game 5, hopefully the boys recover, get their rest. Obviously, OKC's a little beat up, but hey, OKC, they better make sure they're rested and well recovered for game 5 because San Antonio is still coming at their neck every single game.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson's coaching his ass off. I seen a quick little take when they were actually watching the game and how he pulled Carter Bryant aside and he was ripping him a new one, honestly. But I like to see that energy, honestly, with the young guys coming out there. You gotta put them in there. Obviously, this is a high expectation game going up against the defender champions of OKC. But yeah, you saw a little moment there where he's coaching everybody. Mitch Johnson, he doesn't care who you are, or how long you've been in the league, whatever the case can be. Like he's taking everybody and making sure they know, like, yo, we here. Like we're a couple wins away to getting into the finals. Like we need to turn this shit up. So, shout out to Mitch Johnson and what he's doing with that team and that organization right now. Obviously, we know it's a prestigious organization being led from Popovich previously before. So I like seeing what I'm seeing over there with the San Antonio Spurs. Hopefully they're able to, make that win, make that run and go over to the finals. But again, you got to face an animal like OKC, which they were. If there's a will, there's a way with them. Yesterday in our group chat, I was saying I think OKC was going to come back in that game, and Armani made it sure, like, nah, it was GG's for sure. So hopefully,
Not the way
they
Wemby
come
was
back. I want
playing.
to see a nice game.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
a
he
pretty,
is.
Wemby's
it was a
pissed
pretty
off, he's
close
different.
game. It was a pretty close game in the
Mhm.
first half. Like it was still in range. It was just
Mhm.
pretty much the that third and fourth quarter, just the way how the San Antonio's defense just stepped it up more than they already were playing in the first half, is what allowed them to win by 21 points in game 4. Um, not only that, but then like when's the last time we seen Shea at a minus 18 in a game? You know what I'm saying? Minus 18 overall in the game. He had 19 points, but it wasn't a Shea type of game. So it goes back to what Armani said. The defense adjustments that they threw at SGA played a huge role in that. Containing Caruso, who's been somewhat a difference maker in their wins in this series. And in game 1, I mean, he was the leading scorer in game 1. He had what, 31, 34 points.
Something like that.
Jared McCain low-key has been playing really well too. In his first conference finals. I don't know how many points he finished with in game 3, but I know he went off. I think he had like 20 plus points because that was the game that him and Jalen Williams went off. And then game 4 yesterday only managed to have 4 points. You know what I mean? So that those discussions that were being had in practice for San Antonio and in the locker room made a difference. And I just love seeing Wemby
And
being a leader out on the bench. Like you see him in between the timeouts going up to the coaching staff before they go to the bench and start drawing up the plays. You see him going up to Mitch Johnson, letting him know what he's seeing out on the court or what he believes could be a change, whether it's on defense or on offense, on whatever play it is. So I'm loving that because that's what a leader of a team is supposed to do. That's what a superstar of your team is supposed to do, and he's doing that. So that this series is literally living up to the hype. If people had to pay to watch this series, everyone's getting their money's worth. It's this series is one for the ages. As of right now, it's heading down that direction.
Mhm.
series is tied 2-2. Both teams are fighting extremely hard to get into the finals this year. Man, it's fire. I mean, if you haven't been watching playoff basketball this year, I mean, I know I've seen the stats and the analytics. We'll get to the whole analytic thing in the next team, but I've seen it. A lot of viewers are watching. I think they say this is the most watched
Mhm.
basketball this year so far, which is exciting because I mean, as a basketball fan, we want the ratings to go up. Obviously, more basketball means more entertainment for us. So I mean, we want to keep that going for sure. But shout out to that series, man. It's most likely going to go 7, depending on how today's game goes. But I like what I'm seeing, man. Shout out to the Spurs, and also too shout out to the bench this year, man. I feel like I've been talking about it a lot pretty much all season long, but the bench has really been making a difference when it comes to these teams, as they should, honestly. But just the depth that each team has and having these guys come out and get into their bag, really, guys like a Jared McCain, like Alex Caruso, as you mentioned, which is a veteran with OKC. It's nice seeing that, man. Like I like seeing all the guys be able to share the ball and really step up when the bright lights are on them. So shout out to that. Shout out to the game. Adam Silver, hey, you're doing something right now. We'll get to the flopping though. We'll get
Going
to the flopping
going
here.
going to your the breaking of the numbers. Game 1 averaged 9.2 million views, making it the most watched game 1 in Western Conference Finals
Mm.
history. Game 2 averaged 10 million viewers, making it the most watched conference finals game 2 of all time. So it definitely has shattered records overall for a series though. For a conference finals, they're still not close. Which is crazy because the most watched was back in 98 when it was the Bulls versus the Jazz series. That was like the most watched like
Yeah,
series
Jordan.
of all time. Yeah. 29
Karl Malone and
million
Jordan.
viewers per game, which is crazy. That
Mm-hmm.
is insane when you think
Yeah,
about it.
Bro,
that
people
is
don't
pretty
You
realize
talk
how
about you
crazy.
big
talked
Michael
about
Jordan was. Like he was the Michael Jackson of the NBA in terms of worldwide what's what I'm looking for? Like fame. Like he was that dude. Like even when he left the NBA, when he retired in '98, like bro, the league's ratings have never recovered from that era of basketball. Like Jordan just brought a crazy amount of ratings that I will honestly say low key rivaled the NFL. Like that's how big he was. So shout out to MJ, man.
Yeah. 98, 99. 99 was a great year at a time. Seems like things are turning around for some teams when we talk about the year of 1999. But yeah,
I
man,
remember
that was a hard, it
partying
was a
like
hard time.
1999.
That's when Spurs got their first chip.
Yeah, exactly. You got
Yeah.
Spurs had the good chip. That's when you had Duncan Robinson. Sorry, wow, Duncan Robinson. That's when you had you
David.
had Tim Duncan and you had guy David Robinson. I just combined their names. But yeah, man, like it was a different time then. I mean, you weren't going up against them. I was watching, First Take earlier, and they were talking about guys back then when they were playing, when you had Hakeem Olajuwon, like going to the playoffs then and how that mattered. There was obviously brief talks about, where the Knicks are and stuff like that at the time to where they are now. So basketball has changed. I mean, you have different guys out there now that are the GOATs, as we would like to call them, or the ones that are the ones to beat in the SGAs and the Wembys. So it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Can't compare it to the Michael Jordan eras and all that, because this is a whole different era, and that's not what we're here for. But it's good to see basketball being fun again, like exciting.
Yeah, for
speaking
sure,
of 99,
bro.
Speaking of 99, who was in the NBA Finals that year?
Spurs Knicks.
The New York Knicks and the Spurs.
Okay.
Oh, you saying rematch? Yes. Rematch watch?
Hey, it's history has a funny way of repeating itself. I mean, whether it's the 99 time or whether it's the NBA Cup from this season, it has a funny way of repeating itself. I mean, I'd love to see it. Obviously, we're alluding from the fact that the New York Knicks are doing phenomenal right now in this postseason, on the verge to possibly sweep another team in the third round with the Cavs on an 0-3 deficit right now. I mean, there's a lot of takes with this, man. I mean, the Knicks organization and what they're doing is phenomenal. Having the first time coach Mike Brown on the coaching to get this far into the playoffs, you got a guy like Cat who seems to finally figured out what his role is on the team, considering that earlier in the season he wasn't too sure. You got guys off the bench. Again, I love the bench. It's on both sides on either teams, but like I love the bench. You got Landry Shamet, you got Deuce McBride putting up numbers, just being able to step up when we need it. You got Jalen Brunson, who's having an amazing postseason right now, dropping 30-point games like it's nothing. So yeah, it could be a history repeating itself when it comes to the Spurs and the Knicks making it to the finals. But again, you still gotta get past OKC. I can't count them out just yet, but yeah, it's a potential to see that happen. And I think there was a question that went on that. Go ahead, Lou.
No. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I think there was like one question that was asked, like, and you guys can take this how y'all want, but if Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks are able to win a finals this year, does that make him the greatest Knick of all time?
Easily.
Yeah,
easily.
So,
for sure.
So
yeah. I already think he is. Personally, I already think he is. Even if you're gonna say, okay, he didn't win the championship yet with like Walt Frazier, like if you're gonna say Walt Frazier is the greatest Knick of all time, sure. I'm excluding Walt Frazier just for now, just because it's damn near prehistoric times. We talking about the 70s.
Yeah, facts.
Other than the 70s,
I can't talk about the 70s.
Other than the 70s, the only people who are really competing for the greatest Knick of all time is Pat Ewing and Jalen Brunson. And Pat Ewing has made a finals as an 8th seed in 99, so we'll give him that. If I'm not mistaken, they made it in 94 or 95 versus the Rockets.
95.
So Pat Ewing has made 2 finals. So if you say Pat Ewing, I won't fight it. But the things Jalen Brunson has done since he's joined the Knicks, being in the playoffs every single year, and we already know what the Knicks was looking like before that. They weren't necessarily that relevant other than 2021. And then, bro, every single playoff run, this man has been a killer. Like, he's been the X factor every single time. And if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't been below 27 points per game in a playoff run since he's been in New York. to bring y'all back to the conference finals 2 years in a row and then potentially an NBA finals. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Even if he's not the greatest Knick of all time, other than Walt Frazier, this would, in my opinion, would be the greatest single player run from a New York Knick. Like the things he's been doing is crazy. So I could see it, honestly, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited,
Yeah,
man. I'm excited to see what the Knicks are doing.
there's two things here to uncover with this, with just overall with this series. Two things. It's two questions actually. If the Knicks make it, whether they win or lose the finals, let's just say they make the finals, whether they win or lose, is this team good enough as is, as constructed, where they don't have to make any major trades? And second, now when you flip the coin with the Cavs, is what do the fuck what do the Cavs got to do here? Because how is it that you come back from a 2-0 deficit series with Detroit, you go 7, whatever. The fact that you even came down 2-0 against the number 1 seed, and then you managed to win to go to the conference finals, but then now you're in the conference finals and you're getting blown out every game, and now you're about to get swept. So to me, those are the two
It's
questions, the two major questions in this series, because like we all know the whole Knicks talk when it comes to, possibly Karl Anthony Towns for Giannis, or just Giannis as a whole being tied in with the Knicks. And then with the Cavs not figuring out what missing piece it is that they need, because everyone was saying, "Oh, it's James Harden, or a guy like it, James Harden." Sorry, and then he gets there and he's doing. I hate to say it, man, but it's like it's the truth. He's doing the same thing that he's known to do in the playoffs. And nothing has changed when it comes to that. Donovan Mitchell is the only one that's staying consistent. You got no one else. You have bits and pieces and flashes of Evan Mobley showing that he could still perform, and be the second option. But to me, that's not enough for a New York Knicks team now. So, um, yeah, what do you guys think when it comes to like that Knicks question? Like, if they make the finals, do you think that they should just run
um
it back, win or lose, or depending on the outcome, they should still look to make some changes?
to be honest, win or lose this season, I can't sit here and say that this would be an unsuccessful run. It would really be depending on whoever they face and how the game goes. I don't think this is a losing type of team, considering that they have gone this far. We're seeing the Eastern Conference kind of get shaken up. We're seeing the drama with the Celtics with Jalen Brown and the Jason Tatum. Obviously, Jalen Brown complaining about a couple of things and being eliminated. 76ers, we don't know what's going on with them. Injuries galore. Is Tyrese Maxey the franchise player? Is he not? They got to figure that out. Obviously, getting rid of Morey. So, I mean, the Eastern Conference is a little bit kind of shaky right now. So, if I'm the New York Knicks, I'm not changing that up. Why put myself in this situation to be where the rest of the Eastern Conference is, where there's a whole bunch of unknowns and all these variables of who am I going to get? Yeah, there was the talk of, yeah, we were going to get Giannis, possibly Trey Cat, and whatever else they were going to get for him. But you got to start thinking now with what Cat's doing in the postseason, which is when it matters. Am I willing to give that up for a potential get a Giannis because he's at an MVP or he's won a championship? When it boils down to it, honestly, like Cat is probably one of the best versatile bigs in the Eastern Conference, and if you take that out, what would you use to compensate that or replace that? So that's where it makes it a little bit difficult. And then let's not forget too, you got Jalen Brunson who took a pay cut. That's huge for the New York Knicks, where you have teams that usually are in second aprons and such. He took a pay cut where now allowed the team to be able to get guys like well, they had OG already, but to have OG having such a high contract and to have guys like a Mikal Bridges, and we gave all those picks away for. Now we're actually starting to see the team come as a whole, and we're not having to wonder those questions like, well, damn, how are we going to pay all these guys? Well, now you can. Jalen Brunson took a pay cut. Now, if you really want to, let's say they don't make it all the way to the finals, let's say they lose. Now, if you want to make some small, minuscule changes, you can do that without affecting the entire roster realistically. I mean, you got guys like, for example, Jeremy Sohan. We haven't really seen him play at all this offseason. So this postseason. So you got to figure that he may be someone that maybe they might potential trade for something else. But even still, it's going to be small. I don't really estimate huge changes. There's really no need to shake up this team, considering first year for Mike Brown, first year for this team as a whole collective getting this far. I don't think changes really need to be made. Maybe you just hone in, or maybe you just you critique the few things that you do have. Maybe you get guys like Mitchell Robinson to get free throws, get his free throw back to normal or whatever you can do with that. But I don't think you need to make big changes with this team on that at all. I think you keep where it's at. You keep working on it. If you win, you lose the finals this year, then you don't really think of it as this was a loss of a season. I think you look at it as like, this is a good season. Like we broke records. We've come back. We weren't able to get the chip if they're not able to get it. And if they are able to get the chip, then there's really no need to make any switch ups or changes on that. You keep this train running, because if you're the New York Knicks, you ain't been this good ever. Point blank period. You've never been this good. Why the fuck am I going to switch it up? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Simple as that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say keep things the way they are. Now, if you would have asked me this before the playoffs, I would have said, go get Giannis. No matter what it takes, go get Giannis and figure it out after.
Yeah,
but since the playoff run has started, but since this playoff run has started, you could really tell that team finally has bought into Mike Brown's vision, because the way they're running things, to me, looks exactly like the Sacramento Kings in 2023, with Cat running that essentially Sabonis role where he's a point center, like he's getting the ball in the high post, running DHOs, dribble handoffs, and, essentially making decisions and letting Jalen Brunson be off the ball and just focus on being a scorer and being a killer like he is. So what I will say is, don't adjust anything. Don't make any major moves, even if you guys do end up losing the finals, because they figured it out. Just let them get that, continuity. What's the word I'm looking for? Let them continue to be continuity. Yes, thank you. Let them have that continuity going into next year. Same coach, same big pieces, and like you said, they could make small, minuscule changes around them if need be. But yeah, keep things going, and let's see if this offense could stay as high octane as they are now going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about Cavs, when it comes to the Cavs? Like, more than likely, I don't see the Cavs coming back from a 3. It's never been done before. Number one,
162
from any team coming
teams
back from 0-3.
It's over.
I highly doubt it's going to be the 2026 Cleveland Cavaliers. So, just fast forwarding already. Yeah, let's just fast forward and assume once they're already eliminated, what changes or what do the Cavs need to do?
Go get a real number one.
I'll let you go with this one.
You gotta get a real number one. And when I say a real number one, that's no disrespect to Donovan Mitchell. He has been great in the playoffs in years past. I don't believe he's been great in this playoffs personally. I do think Donovan Mitchell has been inconsistent, especially when it comes to playmaking. This year really exposed how bad of a playmaker he actually is. Like, his assist to turnover ratio is even, meaning he commits as many turnovers as he does assists. So as of right now, Donovan Mitchell is just a volume scorer, and who doesn't really defend, doesn't really make plays, doesn't really rebound. So at this point, you do need to go get a number one who is more of an all-around guy, in which I think it only makes sense, and it's a match made in heaven. If he's open to it, go get Giannis, bro. Go get Giannis. I'll do an Evan Mobley for Giannis, even trade. Maybe you got to throw in a couple of other role players in there. It shouldn't take much to get that deal done, just because Giannis's value is low right now. Giannis the past few years has been an injury. He's been more injury prone than he was in the beginning of his career. Not only that, he's older. He's 30, 31. Evan Mobley is 23, 24. So considering those circumstances, Evan Mobley's been more available, and he still has the potential to be an all NBA guy. He's won the Defensive Player of the Year already. So it shouldn't take much for you to get that deal done, other than throwing in Evan Mobley and maybe a first round pick, maybe 2. It shouldn't take much. So if you were to do that, to me, Giannis would be the number one guy. He would be easily the best player on the team. And Donovan Mitchell is a perfect second option for a championship team going forward. Like, that's going to be hard for anybody to compete with, including the Knicks. So if I'm Cleveland, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, let's go get us a real, true number one who we could win a championship with. And hell, if we can't do that, then we got to break this up, because it's not going to work going forward. It's not.
I think they're going to need a little bit more than that, though, honestly. I mean, Giannis is definitely an X factor. He's definitely going to be someone that you're going to have to watch out for. But I still think they might need a guard, though. Honestly, like, they're gonna need at
They
least
have two
someone to come out
guards.
and facilitate. Who?
I mean, Harden and Mitchell, they'll be the second and third option at that point. They're great second and third
Let me
options.
rephrase. They need a good one guard. Right now, what they have is a bunch of two guards, in my opinion.
James
I
Harden's not
always
a one.
said that James. I never really considered him a one in my book, and maybe I could be wrong. I'm sure people are probably
Oh,
gonna fry me for it, but I just
Well,
never
then
really
again,
saw James Harden as a one.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying when you say that you don't see him as a one, because it's like in this series he's shown that he is trying to be like a two. Before the playoffs
Yeah,
started, he was
he's
playing
trying to
like the
take the
perfect one. And it's
he's
and
trying to take the ball over.
yeah, like he's not, and that's the reason why he's still proving everything he proves in the playoffs, which is not performing
Yeah,
or playing bad basketball. So I get what you're saying. I
yo,
would say if anything, they need a
wait, why is he
better
not a one?
backup one. No, he is a one. He is a one. I was saying, I was like like kind of clarifying what Kahleel, I guess, was trying to say. He was saying that like they need a one that is going to focus on just being a point guard, not trying to focus on, because right now James Harden is playing more like a two guard than a one
he goes
guard.
in hero ball. He goes into hero ball mode when it comes to them being down. I mean, we saw it when it came to them. What was that? What game was that? Game 2, where he was trying to really put the team on his back, and he just wasn't. And it's like what we're seeing really is that they got James Harden. I get it, because they wanted someone to be a ball handler to kind of help out Donovan Mitchell. I understand that completely. But what seems to be happening now with having James Harden there is it's primarily all in his hand when it comes down to it. Why are we not feeding Donovan Mitchell? I just don't get that. If I'm a James Harden and knowing that I have a Donovan Mitchell on my team, how versatile he is when it comes to getting to the paint and also shooting threes from honestly behind the arc, I would light him up. I'd try to get him on fire. Like, yeah, I know you, James Harden. I get it. You got the footwork, the dribble, whatever, all that shit. I get it. That's cool. But you have another guard on your team that can help you out. You don't have to do it all yourself. And we saw it in this series so far. You had Donovan Mitchell, who, what was it, game 1, I believe it was, when they had that 22-point comeback for the Knicks. I believe he shot, what, 4 times in the fourth quarter. Like, you just can't have that. You can't have a star guy like a Donovan Mitchell not able to take shots, because one thing about Donovan Mitchell is when he starts shooting, he'll get hot. But if he's not taking shots, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're the Cleveland Cavs. That's the only reason why I feel that they might need to start shopping and getting a younger guard, and a guard that particularly can facilitate. I get it. It's a different league that we're in. Sometimes it's gonna need you to score, but I just don't think James Harden is a good fit for this Cavs team, just based upon like how his offense comes down to it when they're down, or even if they were up. Like, why is the ball only in your hands? Use your team. I mean, look at the Knicks we're doing. The Knicks are facilitating with everyone. Everything is almost off of an assist every single time. Whether it's at the top of the key, they're swinging the ball around, drive to the paint, swing it back out to the top of the key. Like, they're passing, they're facilitating for their entire team. James Harden's out there and he's just trying to do it all. He's keeping the ball in his hands. He's doing all these dribble moves. He step backs, trying to drive to the paint and draw the foul, and then he don't get the foul. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you're Cleveland. I think you need to start shopping out for guards. In my personal opinion, it might be time to just do away with the James. It didn't work. You picked him up because you wanted him to help lead Donovan to the promised land, and your ass is getting spanked 0-3. What have you really done?
He had 2 assists
I'm
in
not
game
gonna
two.
lie. I strongly disagree that he's not facilitating. I strongly disagree with that. I think
Well,
James Harden,
he had 2 assists
that's
in
what
game two.
that
So
he has not. He hasn't been. He hasn't. The thing with James Harden is he's always not been the guy in the playoffs, which I've said this all year when people were talking about Cleveland. I've been saying all year they're not doing anything in the playoffs. Just because Harden is a playoff choker, I will say that. But James Harden historically is one of the best facilitators of all time. To me, he's more of a point than he is a two. Like, this guy had, yes, he turns the ball over, but hey, you're going to get that when you have the ball in your hands as much as James Harden. Now, I do agree with that point. James Harden doesn't need to have the ball in his hands as much as he does. I would honestly want more of a system to where he gets off the ball and they, move the ball more, because Donovan Mitchell doesn't move the ball either. Let's not act like Donovan Mitchell hasn't been taking shot attempts, because he's been shooting the hell out of the ball. He gets his shots up. The problem
That's what
with
he
him is
does. That's what he does.
he's been hella inefficient this year when it comes to that. And if that's the only thing that you can contribute to the team, then you're a problem also. If all you're doing is volume scoring and it's inefficient, then you can't blame a 37-year-old James Harden, bro. That's on you. That's on you. I'm a big Donovan Mitchell guy. I believe before this year, he's always performed in the playoffs. This year, he hasn't. We got to stop acting like he is.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not knocking Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is
no, I am.
Yeah, it's just the man of James Harden. But real quick, before I know Lou, you about to get something.
He was 9 for 21 in the last game. That's pretty bad, and he still managed to get 23 points. That's bad.
You said James Harden is out here facilitating game 1.
No, I never said that. I never said that. No, I didn't. I never
not you, Armani.
I didn't say that either. I say he's underperforming in the playoffs. I said, but
James Harden. I thought you said he was facilitating.
No, you did.
He's not shooting as much as you guys are saying he's shooting. That's my point.
No. You said
that's
what
I said.
That in this series he's facilitating. He's just not scoring.
You did say that.
Okay.
He's not facilitating.
I misspoke. Well, I say facility. All right, can I correct?
I was about to get it.
Can I say what I mean?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's underperforming in every way this playoffs. I've said that. I did say he's choking. I've said that. What I'm saying is he's not as ball dominant as you guys are portraying. He should get off the ball more than he is. But Donovan Mitchell has also been ball dominant. Donovan Mitchell is getting his shots up. Donovan Mitchell has been he's been ISOing guys himself. So if we're talking about James Harden not being like facilitating as much. Hell, maybe if freaking Donovan Mitchell was more efficient and if he was doing what he was supposed to do, maybe James Harden does have better assist numbers. You know, but like it's both of them. It's not just Harden not facilitating. Like they're both playing bad.
They are both playing bad. I just don't like this combo guard. I don't think it works, honestly. Neither one of these guards have a defense. You can't have a backcourt that doesn't have defense. You can't do that. James Harden, you saw him getting fried by Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Sure. I get it. They're a great combo guard when it comes to offensive nightmare when they're hitting. I 100% easily. They can easily each one of them go for 40, possibly 50 points if they wanted to or if they could. But you need defense too. You need to be able to facilitate for your team. And these guys are just not doing that for a team. That's what's happening is when it gets down to the line, they're getting their points up. But when it gets down to when the game really matters with that third, that fourth quarter, they got to make that push. Their defense is falling behind. They're not facilitating with their guys around them. Guys aren't moving.
And one thing too, when you're Cleveland, like, let's be real. If you're running a 9-man rotation in the conference finals, you can't, like, to me, against the New York Knicks team whose bench is as deep as theirs, you can't win a series. Like, no matter how, even if James Harden and Donovan Mitchell had it going on, with Dennis Schroeder, Max Strus, Sam Merrill, and Jalen Tyson. Those being the other 4 guys coming off the bench, you're not winning a series against a team like the New York Knicks. And that's a team that's starting lineup is a mixture of offense and defense, mainly defense, right? But you got the bench as well, and you got guys like knockdown shooters coming off the bench when it comes to the Knicks. That to me is just not. It's not going to get you anywhere. They need to buff up that bench with more proven guys, with guys that could facilitate, could shoot, and play defense. And the only one out of those 4 off the bench for Cleveland, in my head, that you could keep, and it's like a good guy to come off the bench, is Max Strus. That's the only one. Because he's proven,
why is he not starting, by the way?
Well, I mean, where would you put him?
I put him at the 3. No? Is he too small for the 3? Am I wrong?
They got Dean Wade.
Well, remember, you just got done saying the backcourt has no defense. If you throw him in there too, that defense will be atrocious.
I thought Strus was playing pretty decent defense, though, all things considered. I mean, he got a couple of fouls that I feel like weren't fouls. But
the thing with Max Strus is he has the effort. He shows the effort. That's why he was able to play in that Miami system. He will have the effort. The thing is, he has a lot of physical limitations that does limit how good of a defender he can be. So he doesn't, like, in terms of his lateral quickness, not the best. He's not that tall. He's not that strong. So that's what will limit Max. It's not the effort. It's his physical limitations. So that's why I would say if you throw him in there,
I said, according to Charles Barkley, he's a good-looking man, though.
Oh, bro, Charles Barkley always saying something out of pocket, bro. Shout out Chuck, man.
We'll go ahead.
Oh, man. Shout out Chucker. But hey, man, let's. I mean, that series. I mean, I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited for as much shit as I talk about. You know what I mean about the New York Knicks and the fan base and stuff. I have a lot of friends clearly that are Knicks fans, so I'm happy for you guys. You know, because it's such a good feeling as a sports fan to see your team finally make it to the promised land. Whether they win or lose, it's good to see. Put your fucking hands down. Put your
I
goddamn
just
dirty
wanted to make
hands
sure.
down.
I wanted to make sure that I heard you loud and
You
clear
heard me.
because you
And
know
no, there's
the
it's gonna
Knicks.
be. It's on
The
record,
Knicks
bro. It's
fans
on
have been
record.
we've been getting brutalized left and right. You know how long it took for us to get here. So it took us extremely long. And I called up my boy. I called up my boy the other day, and I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know what to do. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm like, yo, I've never been here before. Like, what do you normally do in this situation? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, bro, my Knicks are up 3-0. Like, what do I do? Like, normally this is when they kind of do a choke kind of deal, but like we up. Like, what do I do? I don't know how to act. I mean, I'm scrolling through social media, seeing all these, wannabe fans that now all of a sudden are supporting the Knicks, fucking trash ass fans. Like, it's crazy. It's beautiful to see. I'm terrified for the city of New York. National Guard is pending. Like, they're on
Well, you saw they
standby. I
canceled.
can
You saw they
imagine.
canceled the game or the
The
watch
watch party
party.
got canceled. Yeah, I mean, I don't wrong them, do honestly, but it's all right though. You can cancel watch party. You don't see what they doing out there? They watching TV in the streets from the back of their cars.
Yeah, bro.
It's New York, bro.
It's
They
New
gonna watch
York,
the
bro. They'll
game.
figure it out. They'll figure it out.
They gonna watch
They'll
the
put it on.
game. They gonna figure something out.
They'll put somebody's 70-inch TV on the stoop and then block the whole street down just for the Knicks for everybody to watch the Knicks game.
At the end of the day, it's 30 to 35,000 cops in that city. It's way more citizens than that.
100%.
So you gonna need help. It's gonna be that Kevin Hart help me type shit because that's what they're gonna need out there.
Enjoy now.
That's what they're gonna
enjoy
need.
now because the finals, y'all boys gonna have hella anxiety. So hey, just have fun and enjoy it right now.
You know,
Armani, say it again. Laugh now, laugh now, cry later.
Cry later.
And, I love the energy.
That's what he wants to say.
I love the energy that I'm getting from you guys with that. I'm getting it from everybody because everyone keeps saying, like, oh, you guys have fun now, but no matter who y'all face in the West, y'all gonna get ran through. We might lose. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, we're gonna win. I'm confident. I think we're a strong team coming in, considering that we're beating teams like this and gonna be coming off, at least relatively healthy. This is the healthiest this Knicks team has been in the postseason. So I'm not going to count them out. I could see, depending on if they go against the Spurs, I think we have a stronger chance to get the Spurs, just solely because I think we match up depth-wise with them. Depth in the sense of depth chart, not height. I know Wemby's fucking a freak of an athlete. I get that. I'm not saying we match up on him.
No one matches
but I think
up with that team with that.
I think we stand up more so than that. OKC, I've seen the way we played OKC. It's always a close game, but I still think OKC matches up and does better than us. If they're healthy, of course. Now, if they're unhealthy, that might give us a little bit of a upper hand, a chance there, especially if the bench is able to do what they've been doing so far. But I honestly, I can't really say who I'm taking because I got to see how this Western Conference series closes out to see who we're going to face. Considering the fact that the Knicks are doing what they're doing in the postseason, some may say that, yeah, we never had a real challenge because of all the teams that have been hurt. But you got teams like the 76ers who took out the Celtics, and you got teams like the Cavs that took out the number one team in the Pistons. So it's a little bit funny. Armani's already mentioned it, that there's a bunch of frauds over in the Eastern Conference. Hopefully the Knicks are not one of those frauds. I mean, they're playing really good basketball. I think that first game coming back down to 22 really may put a stamp of approval on that. But, I don't know. I don't really know who's going to take the finals. I don't think it's going to be an ass whooping. I'll say that. I don't think it's going to be belt to ass with the Knicks.
Even if they lose,
it'll be shocking.
Even if they go to the finals and they lose, as long as they make that series competitive, there's nothing to hang your head on. You know what I'm saying? That's something to lean on and bring into next season and just build off that shit. And honestly, a team like that, it obviously the ultimate goal is to win, but it wouldn't hurt them to lose together as the team that they are, and then try to put that chip on your shoulder and run it back again for the next following year. It wouldn't be a bad idea or a bad thing. But let's move on to the All-NBA teams. I know Armani got a lot of things to get off his chest here, so I'm just gonna kind of run through the teams really quick. So first team, you got SGA, no surprise. Nikola Jokic, no surprise. Victor Wembanyama, no surprise. Luka and Cade Cunningham. The second team, Jalen Brown, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, and Jalen Brunson, the captain from New York. The third team is Tyrese Maxey, Jamal Murray, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren, and Chet Holmgren. So, now that that's said, Armani, the floor is yours. He's like,
I
fuck yeah.
know we just released the All NBA teams, and congrats to everyone who's made it. You know, props to y'all. Y'all all had an amazing year. However, I just want to say one thing: the Pistons are royally fucked. They're so fucked. Because Jalen Duren made a third team All NBA, or because he made an All NBA team in general, that does qualify him for the
Haiti.
Supermax. Which means, and I just
Haiti.
searched it up, if he was to get the Supermax, he would get a 5-year, $287.1 million contract extension. Which, if
Damn.
we all just watched the playoffs and we all just seen what happened, and
That brink
he
truck.
got outplayed by his backup and Paul Reed. So I know Jalen Duren's 22. I know he could still grow. He could get better. He can develop. But considering what just happened in this playoffs, I don't know how you can justify giving him a 5-year, $287 million deal, considering you guys don't have a second option for Cade. Like, Cade, all playoffs, the reason he kept turning the ball over is because he was so exhausted having to carry the load, for lack of a better
The
term,
team.
and handle all of the ball handling responsibilities. And you got a third team All NBA guy right there getting outplayed by Wendell Carter, Paul Reed, and freaking Jarrett Allen. I don't know how you justify that contract. So now that puts him in a dilemma, because in these situations, it's the status quo to give everyone, all these young guys, the max extension to keep them and to keep them happy and avoid them from signing an offer sheet somewhere else, even though you could match it, of course. But now they're in a dilemma, because now you're going to get into a negotiating battle with him and his agent potentially, because they're going to want the max. But if I'm the Pistons, I don't know how you justify that. And then he's going to probably try to sign elsewhere, in which it won't be a super max, of course, but he'll get a max somewhere else. There'll be a desperate buyer willing to do it. So because
Milwaukee.
him, potentially, I could see the Kings. I could see teams like that just throwing the bag at him to just try to get some talent on their roster. So yeah,
Well,
if
keep
they
in
end up
mind,
having, if they
this
end
is
up
a
giving him
note
this contract,
to.
what happened?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like a note to put, because you said any other team that could throw the bag at him. The Pistons are the only one that could offer him the real big supermax at 287.
Oh
But
yeah,
any
no,
other
yeah, I
team
just
is
said that.
limited to a 4-year. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
cut off a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
I didn't hear that part, I guess.
Oh, okay. Now you good, bro. Yeah, nah, yeah. But even then, I don't know how you justify giving him a max in general after this playoff series. Like, the way they looked helpless offensively, and you got a third team All NBA guy on the roster playing healthy. I don't know how you justify that personally. So either way, they're fucked, because now you pay him and you don't have the money to go get a real second option. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not looking good for Detroit right now.
Not only that, but not only getting a true second option, but it's like also being able to bring in shooters, bring in other guys that can help Cade when Cade is trying to facilitate the ball and give the ball. I mean, yes, I'll give flowers to Duncan Robinson. He did what he could do, but that's not a guy that you think of wanting to have in your starting lineup as a shooter. Obviously, you got Asar Thompson as well. Isn't Asar Thompson due to a rookie deal as well? I believe he is.
I believe
Or
so.
am I tripping? Yeah. So you
I
got a
got
Sir
you.
Thompson that you got to sign. That's obviously a guy that's not known for his offense, which is fine. He's an athletic defensive guy. That's it. He's not a shooter. That's why I've been talking about it all season long. It hurt them that they lost out on Malik Beasley. It hurt them that they lost out on Tim Hardaway Jr. Those guys knew the system. They played their roles.
Mm-hmm.
They're not guys that are still trying to prove themselves in the league. All they want to do is just be a part of a winning culture team, and they had that there. Malik Beasley, from reports, was supposed to resign over there, and then he got caught up in those allegations of the
Gambling.
betting and the gambling and stuff like that. So that was just an unfortunate thing. But they had the option to sign Tim Hardaway Jr., and they didn't. They traded Duncan Robinson midway through the year, and that's how they got him. But you know what I mean? Like, Tobias Harris is known for being a
Pick
lights
up
out
Cam
shooter as
Thomas.
well. I mean, even if they were to pick him up, I mean that's a guy that like he gets his shots off by him creating his own shot. He
I
doesn't.
know.
It's not where
I
K
know.
could find him in the corner. Boom. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Will he knock him down?
I
Sure,
was
here
just
and
trying
there.
to I was
But
just trying to toss him in there because
MPJ.
I mean sometimes I feel like MPJ would be a
yeah,
good
they would
one.
have to
I
trade.
think
They would have to
that was
trade
a
for him.
talk,
Yeah,
but I don't think the
and
Nets are
Tobias
willing to
Harris
give
would
up
have to
MPJ.
be. Yeah, I mean, and if you're the Nets, are you really gonna want to pick up Tobias Harris to let go of MPJ?
Yeah, you just let go of Cam Thomas. I don't think
Well,
you're
for
gonna do
draft
that.
capital, I think they'll be open to it because they're a rebuilding team. So for
I
draft
know they really
capital,
Yeah, but
like
I mean,
they'll answer the
that
phone.
Denim guy. I know they
yeah,
really
I
like
mean,
that
it just
rookie
depends.
Denim. Yeah, I
Well,
don't know, man.
he
Just I don't
won't.
know
I
what
don't think he'll be starting after the draft.
Pistons. Yeah, Pistons need some help, man. Because yeah, Cade can't do it by himself. I mean that's what kind of led him to get first team All NBA. Really, is because he was doing it all by himself with the assistance of a few others. Like hell, I even throw Dennis Jenkins. He was doing some things for the postseason as well. He was helping out that team
Yeah,
win
he's
some
playing
games.
well.
So
He earned himself an NBA
they're gonna
spot. That's
need
for
a
sure.
solid. Yeah, he definitely did. He did his Landry Shamet. So hey, they just
Yeah.
gonna need him. They're gonna need someone that's gonna be a solid number 2 option for that team. And like you said, Armani, having Jalen Duren potentially $287 million contract, he ain't worth that. Sorry, it's just not worth it.
And I mean,
At least not
like,
yet. Maybe he could grow into it, but
Not
at
right
least
yet.
not yet.
now,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, think about that. At
Agreed.
that age, getting that type of extension, bro, you set yourself and your family and even beyond that for life, bro. So like that's what
Just
these
don't pull
guys
a
are
Ben
looking at
Simmons.
now. Yeah, he's gonna start fishing.
Yeah, don't do
Maybe he
that.
wins that battle. I kind of want to. It's been a topic of conversation too once these teams were released. So I kind of want to see what your guys' thoughts are. Jalen Brown being selected as a second team. A lot of people were saying that they believe that Luka should have been a second team versus Jalen Brown. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Oh, wait, huh?
I
Wait,
mean,
hold on.
they said
They th-
Jalen Brown should have been first team over Luca.
over
Yeah,
Luca?
that's what a lot of people
I
were
can't
saying.
say.
Yeah. Just based off
I
the
mean,
fact
yeah,
that
don't.
Jalen Brown did pretty much like the reason why he's on a second team is because let's be real, that was because Jason Tatum didn't play the majority of the year. I'm not saying he would have not made an All NBA team, but being a second, arguably being in the first All NBA team, that only happened because of him just being the leader of that team while Tatum was out. So Luka was doing this with pretty much a majority of health with the Los Angeles Lakers throughout the year, and Jalen Brown did it pretty much by himself. So that's why a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, I believe he should have been up there versus Luka, whatever." So I just kind of, I mean, clearly it shows that neither of you guys agree with that. I just kind of wanted
It's
to
a tight
Well,
see.
one,
I think
but
that's
I
a
can't put him
casual
over
take.
Luca.
That's a casual ass take. Because if you watch the Celtics, Jalen Brown was not by himself. Those role players played really well over the course of the year. Derek White played really well. Kada, whatever, Nemus Kada,
Name is
played really
Kada.
well.
Nemus
Baylor
Kada.
Scheinman, Ron
Peyton
Harper,
Pritchard.
all Payne Pritchard.
Shireman. You know about Shireman.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Not only that, but when you look at the Lakers, defensively, they're one of the worst teams in the league. They've always all
Yeah,
year
they
they've been
got
one
a
of the
team
worst
with
teams
no
in the league. Not
defense.
only that, but Austin Reeves has been in and out of the lineup. And LeBron's 41. We're not talking about the same LeBron. Not only that, but Luka, not only just in the month of March, but he had one of the greatest statistical seasons we've ever seen, bro. And especially with March. In March, he was doing 50-point triple doubles, 60-point damn near triple doubles. It's like what Luka did this year statistically is up there with the Shades, with the Jokic's, with the Wimbies. But unfortunately, his team's not as good. And another thing too is Luka's
And he
defense
got hurt.
isn't as great. So that's probably the only other
Hey,
debate where I would say, okay, maybe you have a point, but stop. Luka deserved first team All NBA, and hell, Jalen Brown had a great year. Second team All NBA is still a great year. So let's not
Yeah.
get caught up comparing him to those guys. Like he had a great year in his own right.
I mean, he averaged the most amount of
and
points.
yeah,
He averaged the most amount of points in his whole entire career this year at 33 and a half. He his his I mean, he's still not his best 3-point shooting season, but close enough. His field goal percentage is actually the best. Wait, no, I'm lying. Not his field goal percentage. This is his. Well, yeah. I mean, his field goals. No, he just took more shots, from what I'm seeing here. But then again, it resulted. I mean, shit. For the most part, they were. I mean, let's be real. The Lakers were fourth, and they finished fourth in the Western Conference, and the majority of that is because of Luka. Like there's just no doubt about it. I mean, he played great. He finished off the year. He finished off the year at what 33.5, like I mentioned, 40 over 45% from the field goal at 47. Let's just round it up to 48. His 3-pointers was at 37. His free throws was at 78. And his effective field goal percentage was at 56. To me, that's a great season. That's a great season. And he was in MVP talks too. So let's not forget that.
He was.
He was one of the final. Like, if he was top 5, and if he wasn't 5, he was definitely 4. And to me, I don't know. You could maybe depending on who you're talking to, maybe Jalen Brown was that 5th, but at most he was 6th in that running for MVP. So, assuming Luka never went down, who knows how that first round would have went against Houston? I mean, yeah, they beat Houston, but who knows how that difference? They would have probably never gotten swept by OKC. At least in my opinion, I don't think they would have lost. Still, they would have still lost, but they would have not gotten swept. They would not gotten swept. I mean, that's just pretty like embarrassing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Yeah, that's true. They had more depth though, for sure. But yeah, they wouldn't have gotten swept. That's a fair point. Yo, I mean, I'm not mad at the all NBA teams right now. I mean, they're all willing to deserve it. It was close, but I can't put Jalen Brown over Luka Doncic in the first team. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's fitting that he made the second team just because of the simple fact that he led that team really well. He had career highs this season. Obviously, no Jason Tatum, so he was able to do that. But it wasn't all just him. Just like Armani said, you had guys like Keita, Pritchard, Shireman, Derek White, like you had those guys that helped him out. It wasn't all just him. It wasn't like how Luka was doing it. So yeah, I think it's fitting where he's at. I mean, the fact that you got second team All NBA, just be happy for that.
Props.
It may not happen again.
Possibly not. It possibly won't. You. Not for him.
It may not happen again.
Gonna get a full season with all of the healthy Tatum next year.
Go ahead,
Armani.
Armani.
Gets traded. Might get traded. We don't know.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted, my boy. What happened? No,
you're muted. Yeah,
getting a little technical difficulties on Armani's end.
He broke his mic.
Give me the mic.
I'll go ahead and keep it going while you work on your technical difficulties.
Give him the mic.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it though.
Uh-oh.
I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, it's a good turn of all NBAs this year. I think everyone rightfully deserved to be where they are for the All NBA. The only person that I probably would say is a little bit shocking for the All NBA. Wait, no, this is wrong. This one says Jaren Jackson Jr. That's supposed to be Jalen Johnson. They fucked that up, so never mind.
Yeah,
yeah, we can hear you. We just can't see
you though.
Now we can see you.
There we go.
Good now.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're all good. You're all good. But you were getting ready to say something.
I was gonna say unless he gets traded. Then he might be second team All NBA again.
That also depends on where he's getting traded.
I'm glad you asked that, and this is actually a great question, and I think Lou might like this question. Lou, would you trade? Would you be willing to trade a Jalen Brown for a Franz Wagner? If in the perfect world that was able to happen, would you do it, and why, or why not?
I mean. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I would.
A lot of hesitation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, no, because I'm just thinking about it in all different angles and stuff like that. But like overall, yes, I think because if you were to say had said Paolo for Jalen Brown, I would say no because it just wouldn't work with Franz and Jalen Brown. But I think a Jalen Brown with Paolo will work better. So that's why it took me a minute to think about it. But yeah, I would. If it was presented, I would. And also, too, because within the last 2 years, Franz has been hurt. So it's kind of like, I'm getting a guy that's pretty much healthy. He's entering, in my opinion, I think Jalen Brown's entering that prime of his career where you still have a good 4 4 to 5 years of what he did this year, especially if he goes to a team like
Mhm.
ours. So yeah, I would.
I only bring it up just because I know that there's some kind of talk. Obviously, Jalen Brown has his podcast, freedom of speech, but there's been a lot of like talk about how the Celtics feel about his, I guess you could say, complaining about calls that weren't called throughout the series itself. And obviously, he did come up on his podcast and mention a couple of things. Came after Stephen A. A whole bunch of stuff. That's a different story. But the reason why I bring it up is there is some rumors and talk about potentially the Celtics may not want to keep Jalen Brown and may be considering moving on from him. Now, I don't know if this has been confirmed. I'm sure it hasn't, because if it was confirmed, I'm sure we'd heard it from Shams or some shit like that. But if you're hearing rumors like that and talk like that, it is curious. It makes me wonder. And Armani saying if he does go to another team, hell, if you bring Jalen Brown to the Magic, that's not bad. I mean, I think you could win a couple of games with that. Put that with Paolo. You got Desmond Bane in there. Still probably going to need a guard because Jalen Suggs is just not going to be that guy for you guys. So maybe you send Jalen Suggs over to Celtics as well. I don't know how that would look, but yeah, I think you put a Jalen Brown on that team, that'd be interesting. For Kyrie, man, what are you building over here? I heard there's some talk about Kyrie Irving too, but what are you building?
The 2K team. My fantasy
team. Hey, them boys got no choice but to make a 2K ass move. After trading 4 first for Bane just to get bounced in the first round, yeah, you got to do something major.
There's a lot of like tie-ins when it comes to which has yet to been any movement there in regards to rumors of who we interviewed or anything like that. I just hope that whoever we get, is just good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like better and good enough that it's not just a guy that people are like, who is this guy? But that's all left to be seen.
Last thing I did want to say though, before we kind of wrap it up, because I don't know if we spoke about it, but I know we talked about the all NBA teams, but did we already talk about all defensive teams? Did we go through that? I don't believe so. Because my guy got robbed. I'm just saying. Just gonna put that out there. My guy got robbed.
Well, who got robbed?
I feel like OG Anunoby got robbed from first team, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Who's above
him? But it could be because they got in first team Victor, rightfully so, Chet, rightfully so, Oscar Thompson, Rudy Gobert, and Derek White. First team all NBA. First team all defensive. I would argue. Huh?
How's he robbed?
I mean, he was second team. I mean, I think that's pretty
Scotty
accurate.
Barnes and OG in second team. I think they could have been first.
Yeah,
I think they could have been first. Over Derek White and Oscar Thompson?
Nah, Oscar Thompson. Hell no.
Nah.
Hell no.
Oscar Thompson was a defensive player of the year finalist. OG nor Scotty Barnes was like in that running.
That's because there's a bunch of haters out there. That's all. Y'all just hate people.
See, here's the Knicks.
Y'all don't like the. This is nothing Knicks related. I mentioned Scotty Barnes. I talked about Scotty. I think Scotty Barnes could have been first all defense this year over Derek White. I think so. I seen what he was doing. He was doing phenomenal on defense for the Raptors.
When I watch the Thompson twins, I see two of the greatest defenders of all time. Like.
And they didn't even put Amen Thompson on there either. He got shorted.
He's not on the first team?
He's not on first or
second. Yeah.
Oh, that's who got robbed. Now we're talking about someone who got robbed. Yeah, he got robbed.
If anything, Amen Thompson should have been on there over Case and Wallace.
Team. They got some bum on here in second
made it to the second team. I think that Amen could have gotten that over Case and Wallace.
Out of Bale or some shit, some bum. Like, why is he second team all defense? What are we doing right now?
Because he deserves it.
Easily been Amen.
And he's one of the best defenders in the league. Like, what are we talking about?
One of the best defenders in the league.
This is why I hate Knicks fans. This is the epitome of Knicks fans and how they fucking just talk out their asses.
Did you just hear this man? He just said that Bam Adebayo is one of the greatest defenders in the league. What are we talking about right now?
And you just got done saying OG should be in the first team over Asar Thompson. I'm not talking on my ass. Bam is widely renowned as one of the best.
No, not over Asar Thompson. I was naming 2 for 2 because Scotty and OG, but I think OG played better defense this season over Derek White. Derek White's not guarding 1 through 5 fucking position. Stop it. Like, he's not doing that. OG Anunoby is doing that. He's guarding 1 through 5. What's Derek
Okay,
White doing?
then
Yes, he's
let's
a
talk
good
about.
defender.
Okay, that's a conversation. I would still personally give it to Derek White, but that's a conversation. A star is not a conversation. I'm sorry. That's
No, I was clowning the so I was
yeah.
clowning that one for sure. Yeah, he's an elite defender, hands down. The fact that his brother got shorted is fucked up. But I think that OG was willing to be in the first team all defensive. I mean, all he's been doing I feel like he's just getting shaded just because I get Knicks, you guys might be annoyed, the Knicks fans and all that whatnot, but he's playing good basketball. He's literally the primary defender on the majority of the occasions with one of their best players a lot of the times. If it's not him, then it's usually Mikal Bridges, which OG obviously having the size and the height advantage, a little more athletic. It's just crazy to see that we're not talking about OG as a great defender and better than a Derek White, just to considering the fact that he is able to guard the 1 through 5 position. There's times where he'll be guarding a Giannis. There's times where he's out there guarding a Paolo. Like he guards pretty well and he plays defense very well to be playing through the 1 through 5 position. And he's only a 3 at 6'7". You come on, man, stop.
Derek White is a multi-positional defender too, though. He guards 1 through 3, so he's not just guarding. I ain't never seen Derek White
guard no center. He's guarding 1 through 3.
He's 6'4".
That's cute.
Derek White,
he's 6'4". I mean,
that's cute.
Derek White's pretty. He's that's a pretty.
Cute. I just said that OG guards 1 through 5. Last I checked, that was 2 more than 3. But who's counting?
All I'm saying
that's such a Knicks thing to say. Oh yeah, he just guards 2 more positions than the other guy.
I'm saying that sounds like he's more of a benefit.
How effective is he when he's guarding those guys that are bigger than him? When
OG's in the game, the defensive rating alone is better. You take him out the game, where are they on defense? Yeah. Not that great.
But you could say that about anybody that's on that list, though. Anybody that's on that list, whether it's first or second, you could say the same thing.
I can argue that the Celtics still plays a relatively good defense without a Derek White.
Hell no, because when Derek White goes to the bench, you are. Because when Derek White goes on the bench, guess who replaces him? Peyton Pritchard, who's not known for defense. So you're losing out on defense when he gets off the court.
Hey, it ain't my fault they got a bunch of mini-me's over there. Not my fault.
Hey, man, I mean, I'm just saying.
OG, shout out to you, OG, all right? Shout out to you. You should have deserved first team, man. It's all right. This next year, do better. That's all they're trying to say. Do better next year.
All I'm going to say,
all right.
Derek White got 58 first team votes. OG got 11. It wasn't even close.
That's because everybody loves the Celtics, bro. It's a bunch of Celtic fan lovers out there. Bunch of moms.
I argue a lot more people love the Knicks and hate the Knicks, but I'll argue a lot more.
I think there's more Celtics fans. I think more people like more Celtics than Knicks, honestly. This is more Knick haters. Yeah, I think y'all don't think that's true. I don't think there's more Celtics fans than Knick haters.
Knick haters are deserved.
Fans. I got two Knick haters right here.
They deserve. So I know that you can't.
Why? Because we truly love our team. We're not doing that. This is the end. All right, we ain't doing this.
That's definitely not even the case. I know what you were about to say, and that's definitely not the case. Definitely not the case.
What? Wait, what?
Because you guys truly love your team. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, we do love our team. I'm sorry that y'all fan bases are ass.
Nah,
I'm sorry that y'all city.
That's not true.
No, let me get. I'm gonna get on my. I'm gonna get on my. Hang on, wait. Let me get on my soap opera box right now, and let me tell you the reason. Hang on, let me tell you the reason why Knicks fans are the way they are. It's literally one of the only cities and states where they have one team that they all root for. I ain't counting fucking Brooklyn. Get the fuck out of here. It's the only fucking city and state that literally has one team that they can all root for. I'm sure if Florida had only one team, the whole state of Florida would be rooting for that one team. But when you got a state like New York, which has already thousands and millions of people as a population, of course you're going to see them get loud and proud and happy and shit. Sometimes belligerent. They're New Yorkers. That's how New Yorkers typically are. You can say the same shit about places like Dallas, for example, when it comes to the Cowboys. I think the main reason why you guys don't like us is simply because we're truly happy and proud for our team. Like, I don't understand the hate that we get just because.
Well, no, that's not the reason why I don't respect and fuck with.
You don't like delusional ones, which I don't blame you on the delusional ones.
Because they like mediocrity and they are okay with just a standard playoff run whether they go like let's just say like last year, for example, you'll take and hang on that conference finals appearance till the end of time and be like, oh, that's why we're better than you guys because we was the last. That was the last time. When was the last time you guys went to the?
So wait,
the
so if I'm hearing this right, you don't like us because we talk about that we did make it to the conference finals. We're proud of that. That's a problem. I didn't know it was a problem to bring up history because you two do that shit all the time.
I'll give you my reasons.
I don't talk about the Magic making the finals.
I wouldn't talk about the Magic either because it's the Magic. I understand that they suck. So what were you saying, Armani?
Well, I'm proud. Well,
y'all don't got no history to be proud of besides Dwight Howard.
Being proud. Damn. Not Shaq era? Damn. That's tough. Anyway,
did Shaq bring the championship?
Dwight Howard was the last time that we actually were
Dwight Howard.
Also, relevant. The whole ring culture thing is so dumb. To say that the teams don't matter and the runs don't matter because they didn't win a ring, I always hated that.
I hear that shit all the time. Sense. What do you mean?
That
I hear that shit, and I guarantee you, if the Knicks don't make it, I guarantee you this year, if the Knicks didn't make a championship, I guarantee y'all gonna say the same shit. Oh, that team was great, but they couldn't win a chip.
Let me tell you why I hate Knicks.
Wrong?
That's gonna be the same. That's gonna be the topic always.
The average Knicks fan has a basketball IQ of a turtle. They don't know anything about basketball, genuinely. They just know when the Knicks are good, they're going to talk shit and they're going to get rowdy. That's the problem. When they actually talk basketball, and I'm not saying you, Kahleel, I'm just saying Knicks fans in general don't know shit about basketball, first and foremost. Second of all, when they are winning and when they see opposing fans in the crowd at the arena or outside, they genuinely freaking heckle people, they fight people, they fucking throw shit at them.
That don't got nothing to do with the fans. That's just typical New York mentality.
I'm talking about the fans. The fans are doing that. Not the fans.
That's the people.
That's literally the people of New York. That's how they are. That's like if you walk down the streets of New York and you just stand there and they say, fuck you, get out the way. That's how they are. That's how New Yorkers are.
You asked me why I hate Knicks fans. And that's part of the reason why I hate Knicks fans. Those are the two biggest things. Knicks fans, they don't know shit about basketball. And two, when they are winning or when they do good, they act like they don't know how to act towards opposing fans or towards
heard it first. Teams. Y'all heard it here. Knicks fans don't know basketball.
Not only that, but then the Knicks fans, when they're fucking down bad, you don't see these type of block parties. You don't see them going out to the streets acting all crazy after a 5-game winning streak. No matter what.
You're sick. Yes, they are.
No, they don't.
How many? Let me ask you. Let me ask you two something. Which one of you two have been to New York before? Armani, you can hush because I know you never been there. Lou, you been to New York before?
What's that have to do with Knicks?
Okay, so Lou can experience some things because he's been in the environment. He knows the area. You, Armani, don't know jack shit. So I don't want to hear nothing about New York and the fans.
How many
you don't know it? You never been there.
How many New Yorkers are in Florida who are Knicks fans?
What does that have to do with the state of New York? I'm asking you about the state of New York.
Knicks fans. I don't give a damn about the state of New York. I'm talking about
the second question I ask you. It doesn't matter because that's what the state of New York is. That's how they are with no matter what fan base you are. If you're the Yankees, if you're the Mets, if you're the Jets, if you're the Giants, they're all the fucking same. That's the point I'm making. You're harping on the fact that the Knicks.
I'm talking about Knicks fans. Zero sense. I'm not talking about the state of New York. I'm not talking about.
I know you're talking about Knicks fans.
I'm talking about Knicks fans.
And the explanation. And that's what they're talking about right now. You're saying Knicks fans and how they act when they don't know basketball. That's all New Yorkers. They all like that when it comes to their sports teams. Every New Yorker's like that. So
you're saying they all don't know shit.
Your words, not mine. But I'm telling you this now. If you are a New Yorker, if you've lived in New York, if you've been there in the state of New York, you would understand. But you've never lived there, nor have you been there, so you can't say that.
So I can't hate Knicks fans and my experience with Knicks fans and from what I've seen with Knicks fans because I've never been to New York. That rationale makes no sense. So that means no one can have opinions about shit about any type of fan if you haven't been to those places and experienced those peoples. That makes no sense. That's like saying Golden State at the time. People were saying Golden State fans were bandwagons. Does that not mean you can't have an opinion on Golden State fans because you've never been to San Francisco? No, that makes no sense. You could have an opinion about a fan base.
So the last time the Knicks were irrelevant when they weren't winning games, this is how the fan bases was pulling up to the games.
Paper bag?
With bags over there.
Paper bag, exactly.
Wrong image. Where the fuck is it? Oh, right here.
That's what, and I said that.
Yeah, because the team was bad.
You don't have to have been in New York to have seen that.
Yeah, but those people went in the streets going crazy, yelling out "Bing Bong."
Yeah, because you're.
They
I
were
mean,
not.
you're not going
They
to
were
celebrate
not.
a loss, are you?
They
Are you going to celebrate a loss?
no. But that's
let me
proving,
ask you
that's
something.
Proving,
Let me hold on. Let me ask you
point.
something. Let me ask you those people that got those bags on their heads and they got the jerseys on. Where they at?
I don't know. I don't know where
Looks
they're
like
at.
they're in arena. Looks like they're in arena.
Yeah.
Are they in the arena?
It doesn't. So you're saying
okay.
that it's okay
They're
for
supporting.
Them to
All
still be
right.
in an arena?
Hang on. Let's go back.
Every arena always has fans, no matter how bad the other Nets have fans in there. Do
no,
they?
the fuck they don't. Have you seen the New Orleans
they
Pelicans?
do.
Have you
Yes,
seen the
they do.
Pelicans?
Yes, they do.
Have
But
you
they
seen
still
the
have
Pelicans?
Fans, but they still have fans. They still have fans.
Where
in
are
the
their
arena.
fans
It doesn't
at?
matter. All right, so you're talking about ticket sales
Where?
now versus the amount of fans are in there?
I didn't say anything about ticket sales. I talked about fans in the arena.
But
Do the Pelicans have that?
Okay, yes, there is still
So
fans in the
we're
arena. The arena is zero. What are you talking about? This is not the COVID where there was no fans allowed in the arena. There's still fans that were in the arena.
Are you kidding me? So we all gonna sit here and talk about the Pelicans got fans in the arena? That's what we're saying.
Man,
not many, but they have them.
That's the point I'm making.
They have them.
So, hey, they got bags on their head. They did the same thing with the Giants. That's the tip. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is this is how New Yorkers are?
Fine. But what you're saying, we agree with that. But what I'm saying is that even when they're losing, yes, you guys still have fans that are in the arena supporting the team. Yes, 100%. I agree with that. Whether the arena's half full or half empty, it doesn't matter. There's still fans in there, win or lose. But what I'm saying is that even if they go on a nice little 8-game winning streak, even when they're playing like shit throughout the majority of the year, it's not like you have fans still out there in the streets screaming out, "Oh, it's still orange and blue skies forever, bing bong, bitch, motherfucker this, motherfucker that, yeah, Jalen Brunson this, that, and the third." You're not seeing that because they weren't doing that.
Yeah, I am actually seeing that.
You're not seeing that when they're losing. I'm sorry. You're not seeing that when they're losing.
Yeah, I am seeing that when I'm losing.
No,
when they're losing, we see both. We see that we. It's just like how I see these
new team because this new team has been winning. So yes, I get it.
If anything, I will call out. I'll call out these fans that are popping up saying "Let's go Knicks," and they haven't even posted a regular season game or even said anything about them during the regular season. I would say those fans, yeah. Fuck them.
Well, those are the same. Those are the same fans that are out there screaming out "Bing Bong," but then also are the same ones when they're fucking losing, they're sitting there putting bags over their head. Because the last time the Knicks were as good and as New York was as this hype was when Jeremy Lin was in there going crazy, and when they got Carmelo Anthony. That was in between that, bro. When they drafted Bargiani, fucking fans were booing just over here saying like, "Oh, I don't know what the fan base is doing, this, that, and the third, blah 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 blah," and then paper bags over their head, and then now they get a little light of fucking excitement, then they go crazy and they start acting up and not like and don't know how to act. And then next thing you know, when shit goes down south, they're not around. They're quiet. Knicks fans are quiet, just like how the Giant fans are. It don't matter what I say. They've been in
it's
purgatory.
a 2v1 here. Yeah, we can end this.
Hey, bro.
Oh no,
like that.
I'm just talking about
we can end this
like
because y'all truly not understanding where I'm coming from, so we can go ahead and end this.
New York versus everybody, I guess. New York versus everybody.
It's all right.
Hey, it's all good. My team's in Orlando. It's Mickey Mouse. Everybody makes fun of that. Hey, fuck it. Give me a parade in Magic Kingdom. I'll take it.
I mean,
all right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that concludes.
Just for the Lakers.
Wait, when?
Not a parade, but there was a celebration.
Nah.
Just for the Lakers.
No, we need to just put a big ass float out in Lake Eola. That's what we need to do. We better not do anything in Disney. I'll be pissed as fuck if that was to ever happen. If. But yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you on this beautiful Memorial Day. Tuning in, episode 24. By next week, we should already potentially see a finals matchup, or at least have an idea of what's going to be going on with that finals.
An inkling.
Yeah. We'll get a little sneak peek, little peek sneak. You know what I mean? So enjoy your Memorial Day, man. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to go get that W, 10% off your first order. Your face. That's LAKPOD10 at checkout. And go shop Cosmic Souls, man. Go shop Cosmic Souls. Don't forget. It's in the links, so go fuck with it. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. Episode.
Y'all make sure y'all support a black owned business. All right, support a black owned business. Stop it. Stop it.
B.O.B.
All right. Y'all see my
Support
boy.
the
Y'all see my
boss.
boy down here. He working hard. Y'all support this man. Shit.
Hey, new
Support
merch
the
coming
B.O.B.
soon, right? New merch coming soon.
Yeah.
New merch coming soon, right?
Well, but follow the page if you want any announcements or if you want any updates. Just follow the page. Cosmic _ Souls KOSMIC _ SOLS. Follow the page.
Y'all heard it here first, man. Until then, you guys already know. Same place, same time next week. Love you.
Peace.
We out.